Hello and welcome to War Thunder. I'm here at the DevServer, on the DevServer 1.63, and I want to give you a preview on the 88 Flak 37 Halftrack. And there is actually a little bit more to talk about than I anticipated. This vehicle is nice, but is it a serious player? Kind of. Now let's first have a look at the tech tree because we can see that it sits between the Tomadas and the Dicke Max with a battle rating of 3.7. That's the battle rating of the Panzer 4G, and just 0.3 higher than the Panzer 3M. But features a gun very similar to the Tiger H1, which sits 2 battle ratings higher. And there will be some comparisons that really surprised myself because I didn't expect them. Okay? So, first of all, what about the armor? Well, yeah, it is enough to stop machine gun rounds from the front. From close range, even 50 cals can get very dangerous and might kill your crew. Yeah, from the side it's open, and from the top is also open, so very vulnerable to air attacks. Yeah, there is not a lot of armor going on. It's more structural steel, indeed it is, and not real armor. It's more there to prevent the crew from falling out. The X-ray reveals that we actually have 6 crew members. The commander, the driver, the gunner, and 3 loaders. Then we have this massive 88mm and also 40 rounds here in the back ammo rack. Now, then before I go to the gun, because it will literally take the rest of the preview, let's talk about the mobility. And the mobility is a bit strange. First of all, you have a decent top speed of 40 kilometers an hour, but for a 25-ton half-track, basically, you just have 230 horsepower. That is a horsepower to ton ratio in realistic of 9.2, and even in arcade we're just about having 16 horsepower per ton. That is not good. You don't climb at all, and also your maneuverability is not the best. But it's not so bad at low speeds as I expected, or which a tank, at of similar power to weight ratio would have. But you can't rotate on place. Speaking of place, your reverse gear is really bad. Actually, it's like Panther style, and that is never good. And then, yeah, let's talk about the gun. And this gun is a monstrosity I haven't seen. Tier for tier, this might be the most powerful gun in the game, tier for tier. And it is a 88 Flak 37, as mentioned, with 40 shells. The turret rotation speed is the first sign that something is a bit odd, because that's like 1 degree slower than the turret rotation speed of the Tiger, so it's not fast. Also, we just have 3 degrees of gun depression, but 85 degrees of gun elevation. That means this is literally a AAA, but it doesn't directly handle as such. Yeah, but then there is the real, selling point, and that's the reload rate. 5.3 seconds for my crew. For an ace crew, I have, or you can get down to 5.0 seconds with a base reload of 6.5. Compare this with the Tiger, and yeah, let's compare the ace reloads. You have 7.4. That's the maximum you can get out of the Tiger's 88, and this has 5.0. So literally just 2/3 of the Tiger's reload, and that makes a massive difference. And also 2 battle ratings lower, but therefore you have no armor, and also your mobility is not the best. But let's have a look at the ammunition. First of all, the HE shell might be relatively popular, as you might see in the cinematic footage that I recorded with within a custom battle with my good friend Koza. 13 millimeters of penetration with 820 meters muzzle velocity. I tell you about the muzzle velocity, which usually I do not. And also we have an explosive mass of nearly 2 pounds. And then we come to the Panzergranate. It is a 9.5 kilogram shell with a muzzle velocity of 810 meters per second. Keep that in mind. Also, the explosive type is TNT, of which we have 160 grams. That is basically the T-34-85 shell in its basic configuration. Also, the penetration is 146 millimeters. And at 60 degrees, at 10 meters, we have 132 millimeters of penetration. And for all World of Tankers out there, you might remember this number. So, yeah, I think now let's compare it to the Tigers. And that actually shocked me. First of all, the HE shell is the same. We have no heat shell, which would be really funny at 3.7 with 110 millimeters of penetration. Just saying, it would be a funny alternative. Or, basically, it could work as both high explosive shell against aircraft and also armor piercing shell against tanks. At 3.7, 110 millimeters would be nice. But then we have the Panzergranate 39, and that is a shell that I do not understand. It is 1 pound heavier with 10 kilograms, but the muzzle velocity is much slower with 773 meters per second, and the TNT equivalent is much lower, nearly 50 grams lower, or over 50 grams lower than on the Panzergranate, on the flak truck. Yet we have a higher penetration of 165 millimeters. I cannot understand why a shell that has literally or basically the same, the same weight, but does have a lower muzzle velocity, can have a higher penetration. And the numbers are significantly different. Please tell me in the comment section if you have any idea how this can be. I don't know. Okay. So, wow. So that means that the Tiger's gun reloads slower, has a less high explosive core, and is also slower, but does have higher penetration at 2.0 battle ratings higher. On the Tiger, I would gladly exchange the guns from the stats. I tell you that right now for free. So when we come back to the flak truck, the 3 degrees of gun depression are just over the sides of the vehicle where it is open. Over the top of the vehicle and also over the top of the ammunition rack, you have practically 0 degrees of gun depression. So you have to plan how to engage your enemies. How to play this tank? Well, first of all, let other tanks go first, because you can't take hits. You will lose crew members, and while you have 6 of them, don't count on this. And I would highly recommend to show practically broadside. Show broadside so you can gun down your enemy with a better gun depression. Also, you can then escape, by driving forwards to the side, if that makes sense for you. So that's basically the tank preview. I'm not sure what Gaijin changes on this vehicle, if they change something at all. One final thing to note, or rather two, it was, I expected this tank just to have an APHE shell and a high explosive shell. I hope for something like a flak shell, but I truly understand why Gaijin does not implement it. First of all, it would be a novelty just for this tank, which is not really a reason, but rather to use it is another question. Like, you have to if Gaijin would implement it historically accurate, you have to manually adjust the range at which the fuse goes off and brings the shell to detonation. And for something like a B-17, the radius of where this shell would do really big damage is around about 5 meters. Now, if you think about this, hurling a shell up to a plane that is, I guess, most of the time maneuvering, you know, to get within 5 meters and to predict the exact distance from your position to where the plane will be when the shell is there, it's practically impossible. Now, it would be hilarious if you managed to do it, and it would certainly look awesome. Practically in the game, you know, I expect just people to sit there with their AAA trucks and just wait for some bomber to make this one kill. Yeah, so I understand it. The second thing is, you will see a little bit of cinematic footage now, and I was in a custom battle with my good buddy Koza. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and subscribe if you want to see more. Like this video if you did, and keep on watching for the cinematic part. See ya on the battlefield.
A safari one, that one.
Wow!
That was a good one, wasn't it?
Yes, a hit! Got him! Ready up! The gun's being loaded! Yes, a hit! The enemy has been destroyed! Got it!